Welcome, everybody, to the NA Echo Arena Season 5 Challenger Cup. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's. I am joined by a host of excellent casters on the desk this afternoon, Offbeat and Doc Education. We'll start with you, Offbeat. How are you feeling today? Getting ready for what is going to be a day of exciting games.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. This is it. This is the final day for NA. Time to see if these teams can earn themselves a spot in Master, and right now is the last chance for them to get themselves in Master before that finals next weekend. So yeah, very exciting. And the teams we get today, they are under a ton of pressure. They are going to need to win out today. That is 3 in a row if they want to move on. So, you know, this is where you see where they're made of, right?
Absolutely. Multiple channels live this afternoon. If you're not familiar, we have other games over on twitch.tv/VRMasterLeague. Doc, the pressure's on. The basically single elimination going forward here for these teams. If they lose, they are out. I mean, that's got to impact how these teams get ready and get ready to go and play this game.
That it does, and I heard one team ready up. I mean, it's just going to be an awesome run for the rest of this day. Today we get to crown 2 folks into Master, and that means they get that coveted Season 5 finalist badge. That's pretty cool. And I don't know, in this game, my money is on Crescendo. Yeah, I'm looking for some sweet stacks from Sweet Tooth and Choco Lit.
About to see how those stacks roll out as we get ready to dive into the action for round number 1 of this matchup between Juicebox and Crescendo. And out the gate, the disc flies quickly into the zone of Juicebox. Crescendo looking to get something kicking off, but instead a nice retrieval from Juicebox clears it down inside their bubble, and an immediate shot taken goes just a touch wide, slapped away by the defense. A nice bit of defending here, but the attack continues.
Yeah, Juicebox doing a good job to recover that disc and keep up the pressure, as it is now Geo now with some space. Looking for that pass, isn't going to find it, is instead going to reset it back to Retro. I say reset, but that's not very far back, as the defense is going to get a hand on that, and Goran is going to get the clear, gets a good bounce, and is going to get it all the way into the Juicebox zone as it's floating loose there, waiting for some stacks to get to it, as there's a lot of fighting on the back end. It does look like it will be Juicebox getting back first, but they don't have the accuracy, and so it's picked up underneath by Crescendo, who have possession now. They're going to look to moving in. They've got a pass open on the side, back, and a great give and go. Goran is going to put that one in, and Crescendo taking the first lead of this game.
We're off to the races with a great passing sequence to kick things off for Crescendo. Like you said, a good give and go, and you need that kind of quick passing play in order to get through teams at this stage. You know, even in the Challenger Cup, when you've made it this far, you're competing for everything on the line, and you get good teams that know what they're doing here, you know, so you have to be able to execute solid plays to get through solid defensive lineups. We'll see if Crescendo can put something else together, as they do manage to intercept the offensive joust from Juicebox and go for the attack. Almost an open 3, a good stun from Whoosh.
Yeah, great stun as they keep the pressure here and they hold the disc. They're gonna reset this one back. B-Love with a lot of time on the back line is just looks to send that in, but the pass isn't quite accurate. Gets a good bounce though up to the shoulder, finding a teammate behind, and Sweet Tooth is gonna put that one in, and Crescendo continuing to roll here now with back-to-back points. Crescendo coming into this game, these 2 teams have met once before this season, only a couple weeks back, and it was Juicebox taking that one. So Crescendo making a lot of noise right now, stepping up with those first 2 quick goals and seeing if they can turn this one back around and tie up their season series.
Really good job there from Sweet Tooth to stun the goalie out, then get set up for the pass and be able to execute on that play all in a matter of a few quick seconds. And an unfortunate back pass here goes floating wide. Really kicks some time down the clock. And oh no, the disc doesn't go into the hands. Not sure what happened there with Retro, but they do still manage to recover. A series of mistakes, so maybe unfortunate events, leads to what is now the disc into the hands of Crescendo after they've cleared it back down the tunnel. Juicebox having a tough time getting their offense through the midfield and set up for the attack inside Crescendo's zone. As I say that, an open goal 3 presents itself. There's no defense there to get through.
Yeah, maybe they've just been having trouble getting it over the mid because they've just had a couple of players waiting down in the Crescendo end for those long clears. Because there were 2 of them way down there. Either of them could have taken that shot, but it is going to be falling for a 3 as we are 3 minutes in, cutting that lead now to 1 point. It'd be interesting to see if Juicebox continues to run with those extra players back there and if Crescendo needs to adapt to that. But Juicebox here getting to that disc, and they are going to get some pressure in their first to it with the stack, and that 3 isn't quite going to fall as the goalies were just getting back in place, and Crescendo is going to get that one up out of harm's way. Still picked up by Cats on the back line, though, as Juicebox will set up again.
Trying to get their offense rolling here. They've finally gotten inside the zone, and they've got a great passing sequence put together here. A bounce off the shield ends up with Geo taking it in for themselves to the bottom of the zone. And Juicebox have the lead for the first time in round 1.
Yeah, nice swinging game as we can tend to see here, as, you know, couple back-to-back points for each team going the other way. So right now it's a matter of how does Crescendo turn that momentum and get some chains of their own going here, as they've allowed some back-to-back points, and let's see if they can get this one up over mid, which they struggled last time, but they will do it here. Chocolate there gets some space and finds Sweet Tooth, as Sweet Tooth is going to move that one in. Pass isn't quite as accurate as they like, but that's okay, because there was lots of space, lots of time, and they will get to set this one up, which is how they got that initial momentum going in the first place, because they are very good in this offensive zone with finding those open passes and moving the disc around very well. Sweet Tooth now moving in. It is going to find Chocolate cutting on the backside, and Crescendo, just like that, taking that lead back, now up 6-5.
You can see the celebration coming in there from the Crescendo team. Happy with their play, and another well-executed passing sequence to get them through that line. A lot of good footwork, or handwork, I suppose I should say, as they also do navigate and dodge their opponent. Here's a good stack intercept that goes straight into the attack, and again, another great bit of passing to get past the goalie for another 2 points, and that's a quick 4 for Crescendo.
Yeah, Crescendo doing a good job, as what we saw here earlier, as Juicebox is fine as long as they're not getting pinned in their own zone, but they are having trouble getting over the midfield with these rollouts here. Crescendo reading that last one very well and turning that back for what you saw, the quick 3-on-1 the other way, as they lunge for that one. They had the read, but it was a little too late, so Juicebox does get up into the offensive zone, and they're going to reset this one back. A good couple quick passes, not a lot of time, but they took advantage of them. That one dings off the post. Second attempt here, they're still 3-on-2, and that is a little dance on top of the goal. Whoosh eventually will tuck that one in, as Juicebox capitalizing and cutting that lead to 1.
Woo's trying to decide if they wanted to go to the front or the back of the goal there for that dunk, and ultimately making the decision to just put it in for 2. 1 point lead, not much for the likes of Crescendo here as we get to the back half of round 1, and we'll see how their offensive joust and rollout goes. They've had a couple of good sequences so far. This one gets them down into the zone quickly, but maybe a bit too quick, as the defense is there to slap it away. Still into Crescendo's hands, and with a couple of back passes, they're able to reset their offensive efforts so they can continue the assault.
Yeah, so far this game, we haven't seen too much to speak of in terms of the defense. Most of the time when these teams get in and get set up in that zone, they haven't had too much trouble scoring. Like, even there, a missed pass is still going to get picked up as Crescendo holds on to possession of the disc, at least for the time being. Yep, that will be Sweet Tooth underneath grabbing it, making a couple of moves, but there we go. Retro is going to get it and cleared up. They're going to get it cleared to the mid, but not quite out. That will still be picked up by Goran. Crescendo's going to hold on to possession here. You know, they got over mid, and that seems to be all they need here, as long as they can capitalize here. Oh, a nice little move there. There's the cut. There's 4 in the bubble, a stunned goalie. And that's another 2 points for Crescendo as they extend that lead to 3.
You're absolutely right. We haven't seen really any standout defensive saves come in quite yet, outside of maybe a good dive or 2 from a goalie, but it really has been an offensive game so far. It's why it's 7-10. Before we even get to that 2-minute mark, and we'll have to see how the offensive rollout for Juicebox works. It's not a good start. The back pass nearly goes into their goal for an open 3 and then floats around in the zone. Finally slapped away. Maybe a touch bit of miscommunication or just a bad, or maybe not bad, but accidental toss backwards there. Something happened that wasn't part of the plan. Either way, a key stun does get the disc back into their hands, and Whoosh was considering a 3, ends up forcing the stack to go past them to defend the goal, and allows their 3v2 setup to come in here, and another good bit of 1-2-3 between the 3 of them. Whoosh, Retro, and Geo connect for 2 more points.
Yeah, Juicebox showing there with the dance, and that they are very happy to have turned that momentum again. Right, they were struggling in their own zone, struggling to get out, but all they needed was that one. Right, they got the one good pass, they slowed it down, got it out of their zone, and were able to turn that into points the other way. And so now the onus is on Crescendo to see if they can move it back out. But they do look to be doing pretty well here. Good rollout, good couple open passes. Sweet Tooth with all the time in the world gonna take that one in as Crescendo moving their way up mid very nicely there and getting some points of their own to prevent any kind of Juicebox streak there.
Yeah, you could see Sweet Tooth looking behind them to make sure that they had that time. And once they recognized that they could really focus on the shot in front of them, they took their time, nailed that corner shot, and really good job to be able to execute something like that under pressure. Oftentimes the easy shots are the ones you end up missing when the pressure is on. And another offensive rollout that this time doesn't go the way of Juicebox. Although, as I say that, a key intercept comes in and ends up with the disc down in to the zone of Crescendo, still floating around ungrabbed until finally some pressure is applied into the back of the zone, and Crescendo have to push forward through the midfield. They're going to get there quick into the zone of Juicebox and potentially set up for an open goal. 3 doesn't go in. It does. A big score for Crescendo, especially now as we get to the final minute, a 6-point lead.
Yeah, that was a tough angled shot. A great job kind of floating, because the further they were floating there before taking that shot, the harder that angle was going to get. They did a good job of just banking it in off the post there. And yeah, this is this is probably the biggest lead we've seen so far this game at 6 points. And with only 40 seconds left on the clock, they only have 18 seconds to score if they want to keep this still mathematically alive. And turning it over is not going to help that, but they get fortunate on that bounce. Retro's able to pick it up, and Whoosh now with some space. 30 seconds left on the clock, but that is a steal from the Crescendo stack. 1 goal here will put it away, and there's the 3 that's not going to fall. Second chance is also not going to fall. Retro getting the save, but that doesn't matter. They've killed enough time here. Goran will come in to see if they can put in a few extra points just to, pad the score a little bit, and they will. And so we'll probably see a final score here of 17-9 as Crescendo going to take that first round.
Yeah, we did see finally, I think maybe even our first save of round 1 here in the last 10 seconds. But Doc, an offensive powerhouse of a game. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but the defense leads to offense, and that's what I really saw from Crescendo. The defensive stacks were just really impressive on the offensive joust for Juicebox. So got a couple of very quick, easy steals and some key turnovers there that led to open goal situations. Sweet Tooth and Chocolate are just moving really fast. I mean, I say that Sweet Tooth moving maybe a bit too fast, moving out of the arena for the time being. Hope they come back, but Crescendo can, of course, give a little timeout to get Sweet Tooth back in. But I mean, Crescendo just looks really, really good, especially every time they get the disc, whether it's in their own zone or whether it's in the offensive attacking zone, they're looking to reset. And that's just absolutely killing any opportunity that Juicebox has to put pressure on them. I mean, you see, especially in the half court, when they get those resets, even when they're making some bad passes. I mean, offbeat, you mentioned like there haven't been that many great defensive stops. Once you get those resets and the defense is really spread out, it's very difficult. Even if the pass does go awry, the defense is too in the bubble to take advantage of it. So. We'll see. On the other hand, I mean, there have been some great striking opportunities by Juicebox, and they have struck. They've struck when they have. I mean, Whoosh can go off at any moment. So as these teams are out, I'll send it back to you guys. But it's anyone's game in round 2.
Certainly is. Round 1, you always is the warm-up, really. In round 2, you get to see what both teams are truly bringing to the table. Crescendo looking to stay and ride the momentum of successful round 1, and they do just that by kicking off round 2 with a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, Juicebox's defense has felt a little weird this game because you feel like you always gain something and lose something depending on the style of defense you play, right? If you play aggressive and you have a stack out there pressuring the disc, you're going to lose. You're going to risk some open passes coming in. But if you stay back and you play the bubble, you are going to risk giving them time to come in and get set up. And while Juicebox hasn't exactly been pressuring the disc a ton, Crescendo has been doing an incredible job of still always finding an open target for the passes. There have been so few contested or hurried passes that Crescendo has needed to make here. It's really been incredible to see how they've been doing that in the offensive zone as they get another steal here and are going to look to turn into some points as Sweet Tooth is going to get stunned out, but B-Love is there to continue the attack. Gets a nice bounce pass off the ceiling.
Huge.
Oh, a great save by Cats to hold Juicebox in it, and is going to get that clear. Crescendo's first back to it, but incredible save on that end by Juicebox.
A key snag there that, like you said, keeps them in this really series, truly, because if they do let this point line get out of hand again, it's round 2 into the hands of Crescendo, and it's season done for Juicebox. It's not what they want to have happen, and they are fighting to prevent it from doing just that. As a bit of a quick back pass that almost results in a pass to Sweet Tooth. Keeps the disc into Juicebox's hands, and as it floats around in the trap, could get into another bit of a brawl for the disc, as we do have some fighting going on. B-Love, though, able to retrieve it, and here comes the Crescendo push yet again, trying to get the passing sequence together, and they're able to do it with a couple of successful stuns inside the goal.
Yeah, they had the pass on the shield. They had the pass on top of goal. A couple options, really. Either one would have worked. Goran, in the end, is the one who gets that disc and puts it in for 2. But yeah, Crescendo doing a good job of just, when they get to that offensive zone, they're just immediately set up with players in position. They don't need to take time to kind of let the defense recover because they are moving in, they are getting open, and they are converting on these. They've had an incredible conversion rate. When they get into the zone, it's been at least a 90% success rate on scoring those. As Juicebox now trying to get something together. They've gone about a quarter of the game now and haven't really had much in the way of offense here. They are finally going to get into the offensive zone here, and they're set up with Geo down under in the trench. Is going to reset this one back as they're going to take some time here now as Cats is going to move this one forward, looking for a teammate that has it, but not a lot of space after that. They will send it back as Cats is moving around there, has an open target on the pillar, moving into the goal, and oh, a very nice shot, putting that in the top pocket as Juicebox breaks that goose egg and gets themselves on the board.
Barely able to thread it in, but they get it through the defensive wall nonetheless, and the aggressive defense really pressuring every pass, looking for any sort of mistake in those passes because they have managed to capitalize on mistakes in the past so far this series. It looks like we have a technical timeout, if I had to guess, coming in from the likes of Crescendo as they have had one drop, which is interesting to me as it could, help out the Juicebox squad in a time of need when they find themselves not in a spiral per se, but in a situation they don't want to be in for round 2. Doc, while we have a bit of a break, what are your thoughts on the current scoreline of round 2?
Well, round 2 kind of continuing the same way that round 1 went. Crescendo with a slight lead, a small advantage, but nothing major, especially with 6 minutes and 47 seconds left. Yeah, kind of more of the same. I think both teams just keep settling in. I'll say this: it is Mother's Day.
Yes,
so
of course.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Yeah, I called my mom. If you haven't called your mom, call your mother. As Dimwee would say.
Yes. I'm sure he's saying it right now over on the other channel, which if you don't know, there's other action live over on twitch.tv/VRMasterLeague. If you're enjoying yourself here, do please stick around as we'll be following the rest of round 2, potentially round 3. At the end of this game, we'll then be redirecting everybody over to the twitch.tv/VRMasterLeague channel where the remaining 3 games of the afternoon will get played out. So a bit of a one and done scenario here on Echo Arena VRML 2, but there is still plenty of games to look forward to this afternoon if you don't have any plans for your mother on Mother's Day. You've got plenty of Echo Arena here to soak in and enjoy, which I think everyone is pretty happy for because I know everybody wants more Echo Arena in their life. And heck, the odds are that your mom is also a fan. So maybe show her some Echo Arena if you want to put it up on the TV.
If you're not currently watching this with your mother,
yes.
Get your mom into the room, put this on the TV, and watch along together.
family-friendly stuff is what we deliver here at the VRML. You can be sure of that. You're going to enjoy yourself at the very least by hanging out and watching your favorite game. But nonetheless, we really do appreciate all of the mothers out there, obviously. And again, a big shout out to all of the mothers on this fine Mother's Day. Also, a shout out to all the folks that are tuning in. We really do appreciate your support. It drives us to continue to do this kind of stuff and put on these kinds of casts for you. So, big shout out to you. Looks like we have the fourth reconnected, and so ideally we can get back into round 2. And, well, I'm just looking at the other game right now over on VR Master League, and that seems to be a pretty dang exciting one, too. We had this happen earlier this afternoon in the EU Challenger Cup. Both games really coming down to the wire. In fact, the EU Challenger Cup ended in the final second of round 2. Quite an exciting series of events. For those that are just tuning in, though, you can check the scoreboard. You can see there, Crescendo has taken the first round. We are, not halfway, but 3 minutes in to round number 2 here. And so far, Crescendo are looking to eliminate the likes of Juicebox from this tournament if they can have their way. Again, we're just having to wait for this pause. And, I wonder, Doc, if this pause at all is going to impact either one of these teams. I guess we don't have to wait much longer as we are about to get back into the action.
About to get back into the action unless someone pauses and unpauses the game again, because why not? we weren't waiting or anything, but we'll get going here again. Hopefully, as we'll let them figure this out. Yeah. And I guess we'll take a moment to kind of reiterate a few things. Hey, we are a volunteer-run organization, and we are super grateful to all of the sponsors and volunteers who have been making this work behind the scenes. There has been a ton of work being put in that I've been keeping an eye on behind the scenes. Like for finals, there is a ton going on, and a lot of super volunteer-driven stuff. And we are, of course, always looking for more creative people who are interested in joining. I believe applications are currently open. I'm pretty sure they're always open. So by all means, reach out if you're interested in joining and working with us, or if you're still looking to support, but do not have any creative or public bones in your body. There is a Patreon that VRML has started. Obviously, VRML will carry on with or without you, but it does help us to continue to produce the type of quality content that you see here. Because honestly, I started casting this year mainly because I watched the streams and I was like, wow, the production quality here is quite good, and that is thanks to some tireless efforts behind the scenes from some of the guys that I've gotten the pleasure to know now, and it's been a lot of fun to kind of be in and around the process.
Yeah, it is a team effort for sure. It comes together between mods, casters, production leads, organization leads. There's a whole business worth of people that help operate the league that you know and love now. And I'm not really sure what the pause here is that we're waiting on, as I'm seeing 4 on each side all in the arena right now. But we're still waiting, so hopefully we can get back in to that action shortly. I suppose it does give us some more time to talk about other sponsors. That production quality does come to you from, in my opinion, a lot of our HyperX products. I know Offbeat just recently got their new headset. I have my new headset. We also have a few of our casters utilizing the HyperX Quadcast S. I really do appreciate, and I know VRML does appreciate, the HyperX sponsorship and them contributing into not just the prize pool for our finalists, but also to our production team, so we can put on good quality content like this. If you are interested in getting involved in the good quality hardware that HyperX puts out, you can find 20% off on their brand new Alpha wireless headset with over 300 hours in battery life by clicking the link below down in the info section. That's right, 20% off. $200 headset, so 20% of $200. Do the math.
40.
Oh boy, yeah.
Was that a request for me to do the math?
Well, somebody out there with a quick mind. Yeah, $40 off. So again, if you're in the need of a new headset, I recommend you check that out. I'm certainly been enjoying the Alpha Wireless for sure. It is a good quality product. The sound quality is solid with 2-chamber audio. an easy recommendation from myself. We also have a variety of sponsors, though. Have Offbeat any thoughts?
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to say that this has been wild because I've never had a wireless headset before, and so I
Yeah.
wasn't super ready with what to expect. And then I found out like I have been using this for probably about the last 4 or 5 days now. And when I first booted it up, said in my ears, "Your battery level is at 90%." And 4 days later, I booted up and it tells me your battery level is at 90%. It's I don't know when I'll charge this, but when I do, I will be sure to let you know because I'm definitely keeping track now. It it's kind of it's weird. It's witchcraft, I think.
Yeah. Well, we are all interested to see if the time ticks down. I'm trying to get a little insight onto what exactly is going on with this timeout right now, and hopefully we can have things uh, start here soon.
We'd hope so.
I think it's a back-to-back pause. We've seen this happen last game, and I would imagine that going forward, this isn't going to be a tactical option anymore. I very much envision that the back-to-back pause, probably the last time we'll be seeing it in regular league play or in tournament play. But this is now the second time this has happened, and so we are just waiting for that second pause to run out. I don't know how long that pause goes. I think it's only 5 minutes, so they don't really have just all the time in the world to kill here. And so I don't know. I am super confused on what we're looking at and why we're waiting this long for these two teams to play. And I do apologize for any of the folks that are tuning in wondering what the heck is happening, because frankly, the same thing is happening here on the desk. We don't know what is happening. It's been 10 minutes of no gameplay for really no reason other than a technical pause that they needed to do. But I think we're finally going in now. I don't know what that was about. Here we go. Round 2 begins.
I am wondering if HyperX got in touch with the teams and said, "You know what? We will pay you to take the maximum pause you can between rounds," because they might shout us out in the break, and we did, like suckers. But Crescendo coming out real quick and is gonna get the 2 points here to open this one back up. No rust on their hinges, of course, as they're gonna extend that lead to 4 points.
Solid lead at that, but is it enough so early in round 2, especially with Juicebox's life on the line? They're going to be pushing hard to get some more points on the board here. A bit of a missed pass, though, connects to the bottom of the zone, able to pick up by Sweet Tooth, and it's going to be another quick 6 points just like that for Crescendo.
Yeah, Juicebox not able to get back and recover there as they were floating in, which usually would allow time for a stack to get back on defense, but Juicebox just couldn't get a stack back together. And it just allowed Crescendo, Sweet Tooth in particular, to just kind of float all the way into the goal there without much contention. Like, a quick check over the shoulder, still realize have some space, and other than that, good to go. As a Juicebox is going to try and get this one in. Oh, they're going to get a good long pass in, and whoosh, sitting in position to tuck that one into the goal as a Juicebox finally getting something back on the board after this pause.
Much needed for sure. They've been in a slide downhill here for what was seemingly the last minute of round 2, but they've paused the bleeding for now. They do need a good defensive rollout here, and we haven't seen too many solid defensive setups yet from either side. As I see that, an open goal, truly, as the defense tries to dive out in anticipation and goes the wrong way with the pass. A 2 slapped in by B-Love, and just like that, bouncing back.
Yeah, only so much you can do as a goalie on those ones, right? You've got a 2-on-1, no defense in sight. You try to stall as long as you can and hope you'll have teammates getting back to kind of help out and pick out that pass option coming in. But it wasn't enough, and they will put that one in, and they get another turnover here, and that's an open 3. B-Love is going to put that one in. Crescendo ramping up the volume here as they extend this lead to 9 points, now up 13-4, and with all the momentum.
They are really starting to run away with this thing. Juicebox staring down the barrel of Season 5 ending for them. If they don't manage to start to put some points on the board, the light at the end of the tunnel is going to go out, and I don't know what Whoosh was looking for there, but dangling the disc in front of B-Lab, a very risky proposition to be making here. Maybe accepting their fate that they cannot beat this team, which certainly seems to be the case, as another bad pass gets intercepted and scored for 3.
Yeah, I gotta be wondering if Juicebox is still really into this one, taking it seriously. Reminder, last time these two teams played, like, just a few weeks ago, it was Juicebox taking it in a 43-30 win. It's gonna be Cats now who's gonna be taking the disc, but that clear is not on target, and Crescendo is all over it. They are looking for the mercy here. Chocolate is gonna send up above, and that one is in for another 2. It's Crescendo. Crescendo's gonna be moving on. It's Crescendo you'll be seeing on the other channel in just a few minutes.
Absolutely. Juicebox are basically giving this one up, which is very, again, odd to me when this is your opportunity to continue to move on for prize pool. A $10,000 in cash and hardware prize pool. Not really anything to be shaking your head at. It's a good chunk of change if you can manage to move on and become that dark horse, but it's just clearly not in the cards here as Crescendo continue to run away with their momentum advantage here, and only another 3 away from locking in their advancement through at least the loser's bracket. They'll still have to face off against a few more opponents today. They still have things ahead of them, which is why Crescendo, at the very least, is still focused on playing a solid game here because they need to stay focused. They can't afford to goof around and lose the focus. They can't afford to start thinking about losing or start thinking about letting up. They got to get ready for the next game right after this, be ready to go, be ready for that high-intensity action. And, it's, if anything, a good warm-up for them to be able to get their passing down, get their defensive joust down, get their stuns ready and loose. And, they're just putting on a display here as they completely shut down Juicebox into the back half, into the final of round 2.
Yeah, they've got 2 more. They've got 2 more they're gonna need to win if they want to be moving on and get that spot. Doc Education, what went wrong here?
Mike being unmuted is what went wrong, I think, right there.
I started off by saying not a lot to say and nothing to say when your mic is broken, but or when your mic is muted. But in any case, yeah, I mean, obviously the mental for Juicebox broke at some point. Who knows when that exactly was? But the why was, I mean, they just didn't have any kind of answer for the 2-1 defense that that Crescendo threw at them. It was Chocolate and Sweet Tooth stopping at the mid. It was B-Love going in and doing throwing absolute haymakers. It was Goran waiting, scooping up mostly on the backside. There was the one long relay pass that worked out, and they got the easy finish. But I mean, really, it was just pressure, and it was Chocolate and Sweet Tooth able to react anywhere on the arena. When you have players of that caliber who can cover both passes, both left and right tunnel, and react very quickly and get a stun out, get a turnaround, and then you've got Choco Lit, who, I mean, I don't know how many points did Choco have. Choco had 8, Sweet Tooth had 11. I mean, Goran poured in 6, and B-Love had 7. Like, everyone in the arena is getting the disc and pouring big time threes. Like, it's just too much. And so I think at some point Juicebox felt that, and they kind of shut down, which was why the unfortunate mercy. But Crescendo moves on. We do have the other game on VRML. It looks like Corrupt is going to be moving on there. Round 3, 2 minutes left, up 17-2. So I think right now, or in just a couple minutes on VR Master League, we should have Corrupt versus Crescendo. And that's going to be a matchup both these teams still in. Crescendo, I think Crescendo does have what it takes to run it out and get 2 more wins. So we'll see.
Yeah, at the end of the day, one of these teams came to play. One of these teams came focused with an idea in mind of continuing to push on through the losers bracket, and the other team simply didn't. And we saw that with the scoreline. So that's the results. Appreciate you all stopping by and hanging out. Like we said, we'll be redirecting you over to the twitch.tv/VR Master League channel. If you want to, you can also catch that action in venues on Facebook or YouTube. So do be sure to check all of your channels out, depending on where you want to enjoy the VR action. But that's been it for me here on the desk. My name's Ben Nightfire. My co-casters, Doc Education and offbeat. We do appreciate everyone else that stopped by and hung out here in the Twitch chat. But until next time, stay classy.
VRML Echo Arena is brought to you by HyperX, Asterion Products, Border Foods, VR Cover, ProTube VR, Rebuff Reality, and VRware.net.